So for 3 to 4 months, I was not motivated to learn web design. I had been working on it for about 8 months, improving my skills, and then for some reason, I just sort of stopped. And a couple weeks ago, I realized I was falling into the same trap that I always fall into. I work to try to get better at a skill, and then I just sort of give up on it. And I realized that I did not want to be a victim of that again, because it's the one thing that keeps me from actually getting to my goals. But I also knew that if I wanted to make improving my skills with web design more sustainable, then I needed to approach it in a different way. It's weird because when I'm actually doing the process of web design, I really enjoy it and I lose track of time. However, the difficulty is that there's a lot of resistance to actually starting. And so my hypothesis was that if I could make web design more fun, then I could lower that resistance to starting so that it wouldn't be as crippling. And so the past couple of weeks, I've been exploring that and I've had success with it. So in this video, I want to share 4 ways that I've been able to make web design more fun and sustainable. So the first thing that I did is I created a personal website that I was proud of. So for a long time, I didn't have a personal website, which seems really odd as a web designer. But in any case, for a long time, I didn't have one. And then a while ago, I had a portfolio website, but that was when I was trying to become a UX designer. And the thing that I hated about it is that it was just so like corporate, bland, professional, and not professional like in a sleek way, but just professional in a just boring way. And so I hated it and I didn't like it. It was hosted on this platform called webflow, which lacks any and all customizability anyway. And so like after I got rid of that, I never made another website because I don't know why, but I just felt like my personal website needed to be, you know, corporate, professional, because I thought that that's what would attract maybe clients to me. And when I was looking to get a job, I thought that's what employers would want to see. Well, I started approaching it differently and was thinking, what if I just made a personal website that was just for me? And it looks the way that I want it to look. And it talks about all the different things that I do, because that was another thing that sort of kept me from doing a website before. Is I do a lot of different things. I do YouTube, web design. I have a community that I run. And so I felt like that whatever website I had to make needed to like cater to one of those things and not all of them. And so once I sort of lifted these imaginary barriers, then I actually started making a website that 1, I cared about, and 2, I could just have fun with and just make it how I want to look and just display the kinds of information that I want. And I think just overall, it allows my personality to shine way better than if I tried to make something that looked professional. The second thing I did is I built websites for brands that didn't have one, and more specifically, brands that I really resonate with. Right? So there's a brand, Book Club Radio. They're an amazing YouTube music channel. And so I've been working on making a website for them because they don't have one. And they're not paying me to do it. They didn't ask me to do it. But the reason I'm doing it is, again, it's fun to do. I really resonate with their mission and their brand of basically hosting these music events where people can't bring their phones. It just encourages, you know, interaction with people and not being distracted on your devices all the time. And so I just really resonate with that. And so I wanted to, I don't know, just sort of build a website that encompasses their mission. And so I've been working on that and it's been really fun. And that's why I've been working on it. And so, you know, if they see it and they want to eventually use it, that's awesome. I wouldn't even charge them for it because I'm just doing it for fun. But if they don't want to use it, it's still fun for me to do. And again, it's lowering that resistance to me starting doing web design. So I don't feel as much resistance to starting this web design project because it's something I'm actually interested in. Okay, the third way to make web design more fun is something I haven't personally tried yet, but I do think it would be useful. And it's to build a website for a business that's in my head or in your head. So if you're anything like me, I get a number of random business ideas that just sort of pop up into my head during the course of a week. And these aren't ideas that I'm actually going to pursue because it would probably just take a ridiculous amount of time and effort. And they're all also just like random. Like I'll get a brewery idea that'll pop up to my head. I'll get like a random, I don't know, service-based business that will pop up into my head. And they aren't things that I would actually do, but they're things that I think would be cool. And so I think making a website for that is sort of like a weird way to sort of make that idea a reality in some capacity. And so this is something that I would like to explore in the context of making a brewery. And so what I would do is I would make a website for this fictitious brewery. And what's cool is that like I get to kind of design it from the ground up, like I was starting a business. So I get to work on the branding of it. I get to work on the copy. I get to actually design what the beer names are. And it's just, to me, it's a really fun idea to work on. And again, it lowers my resistance to doing web design. And so that's something that I think could be really neat to work on. And it would just build my skills in areas that aren't exclusively web design, because I would have to work on branding. I would have to work on copywriting and maybe integrating like, I don't know, third-party features, depending on what kind of functionality the website has. So that's another idea that I'll probably implement pretty soon. The last way to make web design more fun is to document what you're learning. And this is something that I have been doing from the ground up, even when I was starting to do UX design. And it has honestly been one of the biggest ways to make just this entire process more enjoyable and fun and sustainable. And there's a lot of different factors for why that is. For one, there is an accountability factor. So I feel more accountable to my audience than I do to me, which call that weird, but it is what it is. I think that's the case with a lot of people, though. I think people are typically more accountable to others than they are themselves. So that's one thing. Another thing is that it's just cool to just share what you're working on, to put it out in public. I mean, it's scary at first because, you know, you might get judged on whatever it is you put out there, but there's also going to be people that really vibe with what you're doing. And people, more often than not, want to see the journey that people take to get to where they're going. I can't tell you how many YouTubers that I follow that I wish I would have saw like how they got to where they're at now. Because it's one thing to hear someone talk about their journey in like retrospect, but it's a whole different thing to like see it in the moment, what they're doing, what they're working on, and seeing their stumbles that they go through, their successes that they have. I don't know. To me, when I see YouTubers that do that, it's just, it's a really rewarding thing to see. And it just, I don't know, it makes me feel connected to them more. And so, yeah, it's been really neat to be on the side of it to where I'm sharing that work and other people are, you know, resonating with some of the things that I do. Obviously, not everyone resonates with it, but for the people that do, then that's awesome. And so this has been one of the best ways that I've been able to stay consistent with just trying to reach my goals no matter what I'm trying to achieve. And so if you haven't tried this yet, I encourage you to do it, because to me, it's been just, I hate to use the word game changer, but I'm going to use it because there's no other word that's popping into my head right now. If there's one theme that I've learned from this experiment, it's to make things that I want to make and not things that I feel like I should make. So when I design things that I intrinsically enjoy, I just have way more fun. I'm more consistent with it. And my designs typically end up way better because I actually care about the output. And by documenting my journey and sharing my work publicly, it also opens the door for people who want to reach out to me to work on projects for them. I hate the prospect of cold reach outs. And so part of my strategy is seeing if by continuously sharing my work on social media, will people reach out to me to work on projects for them, paid projects for them? And I don't have an answer to that question, but it is a fun hypothesis to test. With that being said, I've already talked about this a little bit, but if you aren't sharing your work and documenting your journey, then I think you're missing out. There's a lot of just benefits I've experienced by starting my YouTube channel and documenting my journey. So I don't know. I think it's something that you should explore. I think everyone should explore it just to try it out. So with that, quick plug. If you are looking to launch your YouTube channel and grow it and join a community of other people trying to do the same thing, then feel free to join my community called Creator Launchpad. It is free to join, lifetime free access for the first 50 members. And then anyone who joins after that, it'll be a small monthly fee. So if you want to get in while it's free, there's about 10 spots left, I think. And you can join using the description below. And I think that's all I got. So I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.